Welcome and good day, guys. Welcome to Scholars Academy. This is Mr. Ramdial, and today we will be having a look at May-June 2025 POB Paper 2, Question 1. All right, guys, let's get into it. Okay, guys, so May-June 2025 POB Paper 2, Question 1. Let's have a look. Now, Question 1. Barter was the main means of payment utilized in early economies. A. 1. Define the term barter. Now, barter, as we all know, is defined as the exchange of goods and services for other goods and services without use of money. Make sure and include that part, guys, without use of money. That is of utmost importance when answering this question. Now, part 2. Outline one disadvantage of barter. Now, there are many disadvantages of bartering, but once you actually put one disadvantage and briefly give an outline of it, you should be able to get your 2 marks. Now, the major disadvantage of bartering includes double coincidence of ones. Now, you have to briefly give a little idea about what double coincidence of ones is. Now, double coincidence of ones requires 2 persons who wanted what each other had to offer. A nice example, a farmer who wanted meat had to find a hunter that wanted vegetables in order for barter to take place. There you go, guys, to get you 2 marks. Now, coming down to part A3, state 2 characteristics of money. Again, there are lots of different characteristics, but once you guys include any 2 characteristics, you should be able to get your marks. So 2 characteristics of money includes portability as well as durability. All right, guys, nicely done. Let's move on to part B. Now, part B shows us a diagram of a check. Sunshine Commercial Bank at the top. You're seeing the check number. You're seeing the check date. You're seeing paid to the order of ABC Traders, $6,000, and words and numbers. And then you see a signature down the bottom. Now, part B1 asks us to identify the drawer of the check in figure 1. Now, the drawer of the check will be the person who's actually writing out the check, which is commanding clerk. Now, part 2, identify the drawee of the check in figure 1. Now, the drawee of the check will be the organization which whom instructions are being given to pay out the check. In this case, the drawee will include Sunshine Commercial Bank because command is giving Sunshine Commercial Bank the instruction to pay out the check. There you go, guys. Sunshine Commercial Bank will be your drawee. Now, coming down, part 3, list 3 instruments of payments other than checks used in modern economies. Right, guys? 3 instruments of payments used in modern economies include mobile wallets, credit cards, and even bank transfers. Great job. Moving on to part C. Differentiate between each of the following pairs of terms. Now, when you guys see the word differentiate simply means that you would have to state the difference. Private sector and public sector. Here we go. The private sector consists of resources and businesses owned and operated by individuals or groups with the aim of making a profit, example, supermarkets and private schools. Now, the public sector, however, consists of organizations owned and controlled by the government with the aim of providing services for the public, example, hospitals and police service. By giving a nice definition and giving a brief overview of what the main aim of the private and public sector is, you'll definitely get your marks for differentiated. Good job. Now, the last part there, part C2, differentiate also between private limited companies and public limited companies. Now, a private limited company is owned by a small group of shareholders, usually family and friends, and shares are not sold to the general public in the stock market. A public limited company, however, is one where any member of the general public can be a shareholder as shares are sold publicly on the stock exchange. There you go, guys. Differentiate means the difference between those 2 of them, and that answer is good enough for you all to get your 2 marks. Now, moving on to the last part, part D. Explain one advantage and one disadvantage to the society in a mixed economy when compared with a society in a free enterprise. So basically asking us to give an advantage of mixed economy over free enterprise and then a disadvantage of mixed economy over free enterprise. Let's have a look. Now, in a mixed economic system, we understand that both the state and private individuals work together to provide goods and services for citizens. So, the major advantage of this is that even low income earners have access to basic needs, whereas in a free market, only those who can afford it will be able to access it. Disadvantage. In a mixed economic system, when you have the government involved, too much government involvement in the mixed economic system may dampen entrepreneurial spirit, which may lead to inefficiency or slower decision making in a private enterprise. Now, when there's too much government interference, this can reduce innovation. It can, discourage persons. It can reduce competitiveness compared to a free market economy. Because in a free market, private firms operate with few restrictions, with as little or no government interference. Right, guys, once you state those advantages, disadvantages, and briefly, give an overview or explain them, you should be able to get your marks for that question. This now brings us to the end of question 1 in May-June 2025. Right, guys, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell to be informed when new videos are released for you all. And also, guys, do not forget you can register now for our POA and POB classes. We do have very small classes, individual attention, lots of past papers being practiced alongside SP assistance. You will be definitely guaranteed success. So, guys, send a WhatsApp message or call 708-8197. Get enrolled at Scholars Academy today, where your success will be guaranteed. Hope to see you guys pretty soon.